They had wonderful stuff at the store. Did you see that blanket? It's cold in Seattle. Well, okay, for the past 2 weeks, it's probably in the 70s. Amazing, isn't it? Oh, okay. I'm trying to find it. Okay. I got it. Here it is.
It's okay.
This woman is awesome, and she's really cool. She wears cool clothes, and she goes everywhere in the United States, like St. Louis. Here she is to talk about with us. So it's an honor to introduce LWML Vice President Betty Larson.
Well, that was a very interesting way to be introduced. What do you all think? Did she do a good job? Let's have her come back up. An introduction should convey the topic the presenter will speak to. It should also convey why that presenter is qualified to speak at all. It should include their name, either at the beginning of the introduction or at the end of the introduction, and their title, and they should be correct. And they should be pronounced correct also. The person giving the introduction certainly could contact that speaker beforehand, ask them some questions, get a quote, maybe how they're connected with the LWML. And that person can also send the introduction, a written introduction, to the presenter to make sure that nothing is incorrect. Let's ask Marie to come up and introduce me once again.
After our next speaker finishes her presentation, you will have a better idea on how to speak in public with confidence. She loves ice cream, chocolate, and popcorn. She's incredibly creative and loves to paint pictures. She's happily married to Scott for 45 years, has a son, a daughter, and 3 grandsons. She lives on a ranch just west of Colorado Springs in the majestic Rocky Mountains. So guess what district she's from? She's from the Rocky Mountain District. She has been past district president of North Dakota. As part of her LWML journey at the national level, she has been on several committees, been the marketing director, public relations director, and the vice president of organizational resources. Please welcome our LWML president, Debbie Larson.
Thank you, Marie. As leaders in the LWML and missionaries of Christ, many of you have, or you certainly will be, asked to speak to a group of people. And I'm going to share with you how to do that. District presidents, particularly, you must feel confident at the podium. And this does not come naturally to most people. This is something you must actually practice. If you feel confident, it will show in your presentation. So how do you begin? As we always do, we pray. First and foremost, we go to the Lord for guidance and for grace. So let's do that right now. Please join me. Gracious Father, thank you for this time together. Let this session allow us to share you with confidence and with ease. In your gracious name, amen. So as you're beginning to plan a presentation after you've been asked, this is what you need to ask yourself. Why am I giving this presentation? Make that time spent worth the audience's time. When you give a presentation, it is not about you. It's about the audience. So who is listening? What's the demographic of your audience? Talk to your audience, not at them. Talk at their level and talk to their interest. And presentations are never designed to fill time. They're designed to achieve the objective. So what is it you want to tell them? What, will they hear your message? And are you making your point clear? Is your objective to share information or to entertain them? How do you want them to feel? What do you want them to be thinking about? And what do you want them to do with the information that you do share? Because as Lutheran Women in Mission, our objective is to change the world's understanding and attitude about LWML. We want to spur our members to action. So ask yourself, how are you going to accomplish this task? You need to plan your presentation from the moment you step on the stage until you step off. Included in your package is a half sheet. It's, I think, on the right-hand side. Go ahead and pull it out if you'd like to. You don't need to use this outline, but I find that it keeps me focused as I work on my presentation. The first thing I do is develop an outline. I try to begin my presentation with an attention grabber. This could be a quote, a story, a startling statistic, because you need to capture your audience's attention. Then I list 2 or 3 things that I want to expand on during my presentation. And what is it you want to convey? And then I close with an attention grabber, again, bringing it full circle. I wrap it up. And I do have it doctrinally reviewed. Then you practice. You really do need to rehearse because you need to learn how to take pauses. You could even record yourself. Count how many times you say, And as you rehearse and you catch yourself saying, instead of saying, take a pause. Just pause. Because what you're trying to do when you say, is think of what you're going to say. If you've practiced, that's not going to happen. Then time your presentation. Never go over the allotted time that the chairman has given you. Practice in front of a mirror. That may be uncomfortable, but try it. And try not to read your script word for word. You certainly look at your outline, but you don't read it for word. A true rehearsal can only happen if you're standing, if you're speaking out loud, and if you're working with the materials that you'll actually work with when you have your actual presentation. Then as you look at that and you review your practice, edit, evaluate that presentation. Are you fulfilling the objective? Are the stories and examples actually relevant, or are you just filling time? Many times I write my script, then I go back and I delete about half of it because it's always too long. I kind of like to talk. Be relevant. Be concise. And don't ramble. Then you will present with confidence. Don't think, I am so nervous. Think, I am so energized. Because then you are ready. because you're not alone up here. I have Jesus right beside me. Let me give you a quick example. I was invited to give a presentation on sharing LWML with other women. The session was to be given several times to women attending an LWML district convention. I began with prayer. I knew why I was asked. I was a elected member of the LWML Board of Directors. And I knew who my audience was. These were women of faith. These women shared their faith through word and deed already. But the women who did this normally shared their faith with women that already were Christians, with women who they were comfortable. So what exactly, there's the what, could I tell them? And how could I change their attitude about stepping out of their comfort zone and taking intentional acts of telling about Jesus to others? I thought about my objective and what I wanted to convey, and I came up with an outline. This was my attention grabber. I'm going to begin by asking you a very simple question. Why are you here? Or better yet, why are you involved in LWML? And then I listed and expanded on 3 main points. My first point was if someone asked you, what is LWML? What would you say? Are you prepared to give an answer? My second point was we don't need to actually step out of our comfort zone, ladies and counselors. Jesus is our comfort zone. Point number 3, we can share God and the LWML through the unique gifts and strengths that He has given to each of us. Then I included audience involvement. I had everybody write down a 6-word response to the question, why am I involved in the LWML? My example of my 6 words, why I am involved in the LWML, is so others can share this joy. Try that sometime, it's really fun. 6 words, no more. And then I closed referencing my attention grabber to bring it full circle. And this is how I closed. You are here, and you are involved in the LWML because you are God's child. You are women in mission. You have a story, each one of you, and you can bless others with the telling. Because the time is now to go, my friends, and share God's message with the world. After doctrinal review and practice, I was ready to present. So I hope that helps you because you will be asked to speak. And if you are asked to speak at an LWML district, LCMS convention, be prepared, be professional, and show them what Lutheran women can do. So I hope that is helpful for you as you begin to take time to share Jesus with the world and the LWML. I would like to bring to the stage, because I'm going to talk about stage and podium etiquette. And yeah, that's really a thing. So I'd like to ask my very good friend, Janice Wendorf, to come forward onto the stage.
Hi, Madam President.
Hi, Jan. She is demonstrating right now what not to do. Don't walk in front of the president's podium, ever.
I'm sorry.
Jan is going to demonstrate why I share some pointers with you. So first of all, when you get up to speak, we have lovely LWML name tags, but they glare when you have lights on the stage. Take it off. before you get onto the stage. I asked her to leave hers on. Also, any shiny jewelry, there are some flat gold or silver earrings that just really, when the light hits them, they're just wild. Same with large necklaces. This is fine, your president's pin is fine, but try to take that off because it's very distracting. But I did ask you to leave that on. So if you want to be taken seriously, first, dress professionally. Dress the part. Now, it may not matter to you, but it may matter very much to your audience. Notice Jan is dressed professionally. And now, if she would have come up to the stage in a t-shirt, shorts, and tennis shoes, do you think you would be eager to hear what she has to say about banking? Or leadership? Or tourism in Milan? But I also want to point out that if she is going to a youth function and she is going to speak to the youth about sharing Christ one day on a campus, her dress in tennis shoes and shorts and t-shirt would be just fine and appropriate. So know who you are speaking to and how they perceive you as you take the stage. These are really good questions to ask yourself as you plan. Next, stand tall. Don't slouch. Don't look bored or defeated. Stand with your shoulders back, your arms at your side, and your thumbs towards the front. If you stand up and you have your thumbs actually behind or at your side, you slouch. If you move your thumbs to the front, you stand tall. You can put your hands on the podium, but please don't lean on the podium. And remember, don't fall off the stage. Remember, if the podium is elevated, the audience can see your feet if you don't have a solid wood one like this. But many times you're going to be talking from like that, toes forward. And you can always take what they call open body posture. Don't fold your arms. Don't link your hands in front of you, down below. That's called the fig leaf. Don't link your hands in back.
That's called a rest.
Make eye contact with your audience. Choose several spots in the audience to look and make sure, and then kind of be like a lawn sprinkler. Talk to your audience. Move around the room. I don't know what she's doing. I'm not looking at her.
Neither does she.
Your facial expressions are also very important. If you look bored, your audience is going to get bored. If you look scared, they're going to be thinking about that instead of thinking about what you're saying. So practice. Practice, and even your gestures, even your eye contact. And manage your gestures. Practice these in the mirror. Remember, I'm at a podium and I'm not real tall. So if I'm making gestures down here, you can't see them. Make them up here. If you're pointing at something or you're talking, do this. Put your hands up. And practice that in the mirror. I can't say enough about it. Practice. You will be more comfortable when you get up on that stage and on that podium, even your gestures. Can we thank Jan for giving us such a lovely performance? This photo was taken of us at the South Wisconsin LWML District Convention. We were obviously celebrating 80 years of LWML. Do you like our glasses? I know, they're awesome. So follow up. After your presentation, you're not done. If you are blessed to receive feedback, be grateful for those comments. If you received positive feedback, Fantastic. That will build your confidence. If you receive negative feedback, grow from it. Strive to improve after you have your pity party. So LWML leaders, pray, plan, practice, and then present with confidence. You are chosen to lead. You are chosen by God to lead, and your adventure continues. And you can do this with confidence because as leaders in the LWML and missionaries for Christ, you've got this because He's got you. Thank you.